Hi there. I'm Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer with a love for all things creative and a little one on the way. Before I jump into my story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more of my wild adventures. Right now, I'm in my living room, surrounded by a vibrant mix of yellow and green decorations. My best friend, Emily, is balancing on a ladder, carefully hanging the final welcome baby banner. Emily, you're truly a lifesaver, I exclaim, gently patting my round belly. I honestly don't know how I'd manage this gender-neutral shower without you. She flashes a mischievous grin at me. That's what best friends are for, Mama. Besides, driving your mother-in-law crazy with all this yellow and green is just too much fun. I can't help but laugh. Oh, don't even remind me. Linda's been bombarding me with texts about the baby's gender. Honestly, if I get one more old wives' tale about how to figure out if it's a boy or girl, I might just lose it. Just then, my phone buzzes. Speak of the devil, Emily says, sliding down the ladder. Is that her again? I nod and show her the screen. Linda's asking if I'm craving salty or sweet foods, claiming it's a surefire way to predict the baby's gender. Emily rolls her eyes. Honestly, that woman could use a hobby. I couldn't agree more. I sigh, tossing my phone aside. Mark's doing his best to keep her at bay. But you know how relentless she can be. Just then, Mark walks in, looking slightly frazzled. Hey, babe. The nursery's all set. My dad will be bringing over the last of the furniture later. Thanks, hun. How's your mom handling all of this? He runs a hand through his hair. She's definitely persistent, but I keep reminding her we're keeping it a surprise. Good luck with that, Emily chuckles. At that moment, the doorbell rings. It's my parents, Robert and Carol, arriving with arms full of gifts and snacks for the shower. Oh, sweetie, the place looks fantastic, Robert exclaims as he sets down the boxes, his face lighting up. Your mother was right. You've done an amazing job, kiddo. As we chat, Mark's phone starts ringing. He glances at the screen and sighs. It's Mom again. I better take this. He steps outside, and I can hear him trying to soothe Linda's latest concerns. Emily leans in and whispers, $10 says she's trying to get him to reveal the baby's gender. I shake my head. No bet. That's a sucker's game. As the day progresses, more friends and family arrive to help with the setup. The house is alive with energy, but I can't shake the feeling that Linda is up to something. Every time Mark's phone rings, I find myself tensing up. Later that evening, as Mark and I prepare for bed, I decide to bring it up. Hun, is your mom all right? She seems unusually fixated on this whole gender thing. Mark sighs and pulls me into a comforting embrace. You know how she is. She just wants to be part of everything. But don't worry, I've got it under control. I nod, trying to trust him, but as I drift off to sleep, my mind keeps racing with thoughts of what Linda might have planned for the baby shower the next day. On the morning of the baby shower, I wake up feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. As I'm getting ready, Mark walks in, looking unusually anxious. Hey, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost, I ask. He runs a hand through his hair. I just got off the phone with my mom. She's acting strangely, more so than usual. She kept insisting she has a big surprise for us. I'm not liking the sound of it. I try to brush off my unease, but it lingers. As guests begin to arrive, I push my worries aside and focus on enjoying the party. This spread looks incredible, Sarah, my friend Rachel says, admiring the buffet. Thanks, Emily really went all out with the planning. Just then, Emily rushes over, visibly flustered. Sarah, we have a problem. The cake decorator messed up the order. The cake says it's a boy. What? No, this can't be happening. Don't worry, I've got a plan, Emily reassures me. We'll just scrape off the boy part and replace it with baby, crisis averted. As we're sorting out the cake mess, the doorbell rings. Mark heads to answer it, and I hear his voice, filled with shock. Mom, what's going on? I turn to see Linda bursting in, followed by a small crowd of unfamiliar faces. She's holding a bunch of blue balloons, and a man in a white coat is with her. Surprise, darling, Linda exclaims brightly. I've brought the party to you. What's going on, Linda? I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. Well, since you two are so determined to keep the gender a secret, I decided to take matters into my own hands, Linda announces. Everyone, meet Dr. Thompson, our sonogram expert extraordinaire. The man in the white coat gives a hesitant wave. Mom, what are you doing? Mark hisses. I'm revealing the truth, dear. It's a boy, and I have proof. Linda pulls out a folder and starts brandishing it. I've got the latest sonogram pictures right here. Dr. Thompson will review them and confirm why I already know. I feel my face flush with a mix of anger and embarrassment. Linda, that's enough. This is our baby, and it's our decision. You have no right. Oh, pish posh. Linda interrupts. As the grandmother, I have every right to know. Emily steps in, trying to ease the tension. Hey, everyone, how about we switch gears and play some fun baby shower games? I've got a great one where we guess the baby's birthday. But Linda is relentless. She strides over to Dr. Thompson and thrusts the folder into his hands. Come on, doctor. Tell them what you see. The poor man looks alarmed. I'm not sure I should. Of course you should. Linda insists. I paid you well for this. The room gasps, and Mark's face turns pale. You did what? Linda's eyes widen in realization of her mistake. All fine, yes. I paid him and I've been trying to get the truth out of your obstetrician too, Sarah. I even offered her a very generous donation, but she wouldn't budge. I feel a wave of nausea. You tried to bribe my doctor. Linda, that's illegal. The room descends into chaos as Mark engages in a heated argument with his mother. How could you do this, Mom? This is a total invasion of our privacy. I was just trying to help. You two are being ridiculous with all this secrecy. I can't take it anymore. Linda's frustration boils over as she storms out of the room, locking herself in the nursery. Surrounded by the soft yellows and greens we picked out, I can hear the commotion continuing outside. What was meant to be a joyful day has devolved into a complete nightmare. 3 days have passed since the baby shower fiasco, and I'm still struggling to move on. I'm sitting at the kitchen table, lost in thought and staring at my phone when Mark walks in. How are you holding up, babe? He asks, concern etched on his face. Honestly, I feel awful. Your mom invaded our privacy, possibly broke the law, and ruined what was supposed to be a special day. Mark sighs and runs his hands through his hair. I know I'm so sorry. I've been trying to talk to her, but she's not listening. Just then, my phone buzzes. It's Emily. Hey, Em, what's up? Sarah, you won't believe this. Remember Dr. Thompson from the shower? I did some dating. He's not a doctor at all. He's an actor Linda hired. I nearly dropped my phone. Are you serious? How did you find out? I recognized him from a local theater production. Emily explains. I called the theater, and they confirmed it. His real name is Steve Daniels. I passed the information along to Mark, whose face reddens with anger. That's it. I'm calling my mom right now. He puts the phone on speaker as Linda answers. Hello, dear. Have you come to your senses about the gender reveal yet? Cut the crap, Mom. We know about the fake doctor. How could you do this? There's a moment of silence before Linda responds, her voice brimmy with defiance. I did what I had to do. You two were being ridiculous with all this secrecy. I can't hold back any longer, Linda. You had no right. You violated our privacy and possibly broke the law. Oh, please, I'm the grandmother. I have every right to know about my grandchild. Mark's voice turns icy. No, Mom, you don't. Until you can understand that and offer an apology, we're going to need some space. He hangs up, leaving the kitchen enveloped in a heavy silence. I need to file a complaint with the hospital, I say. If she tried to bribe my doctor, who knows what other information she might have obtained. Mark nods. I'll go with you. We need to get to the bottom of this. The next day, we're sitting in the hospital administrator's office. The woman across from us has a serious expression. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I want to assure you that we take patient privacy very seriously. We'll conduct a full investigation into this matter. As we're leaving, Mark's phone rings. It's his dad, George. Son, we need to talk. Can you and Sarah come over? When we arrive at Mark's childhood home, George looks worn out and distressed. I'm so sorry, both of you. There's something I need to show you, George says, looking troubled. He leads us to his study and retrieves a box filled with documents. Your mother, this isn't the first time she's crossed boundaries. I've been keeping track over the years. She's always struggled with respecting limits, especially within the family. Mark looks taken aback. Dad, why didn't you ever tell us about this? George sighs deeply. I thought I could handle her behavior, but after what happened at the shower, I see now that I've been enabling her. It's time for this to stop. He hands us the box. Inside are letters, emails, and legal documents outlining Linda's past manipulative behaviors. There was an incident with your cousin at Jenny's wedding, George explains. Linda tried to change the venue without informing anyone because she didn't like the original choice. And when your brother Tom was applying to colleges, she submitted applications in his name to schools he didn't want to attend. I feel a blend of vindication and sadness. George, thank you for showing us this. It's comforting to know we're not alone in dealing with her behavior. Mark wraps his arm around me, his voice steady and resolute. We'll get through this, Sarah, together, and we'll make sure our baby is shielded from this kind of manipulation. After going through the evidence George provided, Mark and I sit in our living room, contemplating our next steps. I can't believe it's come to this, I say, but I think we need to take legal action. Mark nods firmly. You're right, we need to protect our family. I'll call a lawyer first thing tomorrow. The next day, we're in Attorney Johnson's office, ready to discuss our options. Based on what you've shared, we have grounds for a restraining order and potentially charges for invasion of privacy and harassment, Attorney Johnson says. What about the hospital? Shouldn't they be held accountable too? I ask. We'll start with a restraining order against Linda, she replies. We can address the hospital issues separately. A week later, we receive a call from the hospital administrator. Mrs. Johnson, we've completed our investigation. I'm deeply sorry to inform you that one of our nurses, under pressure from your mother-in-law, did leak some of your confidential information. Months go by, and the long-awaited day finally arrives. In the delivery room, Mark is right beside me as our beautiful baby boy makes his entrance into the world. When I hold our son for the first time, I'm overwhelmed by how perfect he is. George, grinning from ear to ear, cradles his grandson. Sarah, he's absolutely perfect. He's got your eyes and Mark's nose. Emily chimes in with a chuckle, definitely Mark's nose. As our loved ones gather around to celebrate with us, I gaze at Mark and our son, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and resilience. We've endured so much together. But those challenges have only made us stronger, ready to protect our little family from any harmful influences. As our story concludes, I want to ask you, if you were in my position, would you ever consider forgiving Linda and allowing her back into your child's life? Or do you believe that some actions are truly unforgivable when it comes to safeguarding your family? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences and opinions are invaluable and could help others going through similar struggles. If this story resonated with you and you'd like to hear more, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means so much to us and allows us to continue sharing these real-life stories.